The emergency alarm screamed through the halls of the Galactic Council station. Admiral Vexthari rushed from his quarters, his blue skin pale with worry. In 30 years of service, he had never heard the alarm this urgent. He ran down the curved corridors to the command center. Other council members were already there, their faces showing the same fear he felt. The main screen showed a transmission coming from the outer rim of the galaxy. "Play the message," Vexthari ordered. The screen flickered and showed a green-skinned alien with large eyes filled with tears. His voice shook as he spoke. "This is Prime Minister Kella of the Zilani Republic. Our world is dying. The Korthik Empire has surrounded our planet. They demand we surrender, or they will kill everyone. Our ships cannot fight them. We have tried to run, but they follow us everywhere. Please, anyone who can hear this, help us. We have children here, millions of innocent lives. The Korthik fleet will arrive in 7 days. After that, it will be too late." The message ended. The room fell silent. Councillor Nethes, a tall being with 4 arms, spoke first. "How many ships do the Korthik have?" "Our scouts report 40 warships," came the reply from the intelligence officer. "The Zilani have only 6 small defense vessels. They cannot win. What about our peacekeeping forces?" asked another councillor. Admiral Vexthari checked his reports. "All our fleets are busy with other conflicts. The war in the Andros sector needs 12 ships. The rebellion in the outer colonies has 20 of our vessels tied up. We have maybe 5 ships available, and they would take weeks to reach Zilani space." The room buzzed with worried voices. Everyone knew what this meant. The Zilani were peaceful farmers who had never hurt anyone. They grew food for half the galaxy, but they had no weapons and no idea how to fight. "The Korthik will not stop with the Zilani," Vexthari said quietly. "They have been growing stronger for years. If they take the Zilani worlds, they will have enough resources to attack other systems. This could be the start of a galactic war." Councillor Drex, an old reptilian being, stood up. "What options do we have? We cannot abandon the Zilani, but we have no ships to send." The room fell silent again. Everyone knew they were facing an impossible choice. Let the Zilani die, or send too few ships and watch them die anyway. "There might be one option," said a young intelligence officer named Yara. She looked nervous as all eyes turned to her. "There is a species we contacted years ago. They offered to help with military matters, but we never responded to their application." "Which species?" Vexthari asked. "The humans. From a planet called Earth." Several councillors made sounds of disgust. Vexthari remembered the file. Those savages? Their application was rejected for good reason. "Actually, sir, it was never officially rejected. It was just ... ignored ... double quotes. YRA brought up the old files on the main screen. The humans sent one ship 23 years ago. A small diplomatic vessel. They requested membership in the Galactic Council and offered military assistance to any members who needed it." "Why was their application buried?" asked Councillor Net HYS. YARA looked uncomfortable. "The initial survey of their homeworld showed ... concerning results. Their planet appears to be what we classify as a death world, very dangerous. High gravity, violent weather, predators everywhere. The humans evolved in constant conflict. That explains why we ignored them," Drex said. "Deathworld species are usually too violent for civilized society." "But sir," Yara continued, "they did not seem violent when they came here. Their diplomat was polite and respectful. He even brought gifts of food and art from their world." Vexthari pulled up more files. The human ship had been small, but well built. Their technology seemed basic compared to galactic standards, but it worked well. The humans had asked for nothing except a chance to help others. "What happened to their ship?" he asked. "It left after 3 days when no one would meet with their diplomat." They said they would wait for our response, but we never sent one. The Admiral felt a stab of guilt. The humans had come in peace, offering help, and the Council had simply ignored them. Do we know anything about their current military strength? Counselor Nethes asked. Yora shook her head. No, sir. We have had no contact with them since their visit. For all we know, they might have only that one small ship. Or they might have built a fleet in the past 20 years, Vexthari said thoughtfully. Deathworld species often advance quickly when they feel threatened. The debate continued for hours. Some counselors worried about bringing violent aliens into galactic affairs. Others pointed out that they had no other choice. The Zilani would die without help, and the Korthak would grow stronger. Finally, Vexthari made the decision. We will contact the humans. It may be our only hope of saving the Zilani. What if they refuse to help? Asked Drex. We ignored them for over 20 years. Then we will have lost nothing, Vexthari replied. But if they agree to help, we might save millions of lives. The Council voted. It was close, but the motion passed. They would send a message to Earth, asking for the help they had rejected. Years ago, as the meeting ended, Vexthari stared at the last image of the Zilani Prime Minister. The fear in those large eyes would haunt him. 7 days to save an entire civilization. 7 days to hope that the humans would forgive the Council's long silence. He began composing the message to Earth, wondering what kind of response would come from the Deathworld species they had scorned. Little did he know that his simple request for help would wake something that had been waiting in the darkness between the stars, something that would change the galaxy forever. The message from space arrived at 3 in the morning, Earth time. President Lisa Carter was awakened by her security chief pounding on her bedroom door. Madam President, we have a priority 1 emergency, alien contact. Lisa sat up fast, her heart racing. Are they attacking? No, ma'am. They are asking for help. 20 minutes later, Lisa stood in the war room deep under the White House. The room was full of military officers and scientists, all looking at the large screen on the bay wall. The alien message played again. Admiral Jake Morrison, head of Earth's space fleet, stood next to the screen. He was a tall man with gray hair and scars on his hands from the old Mars colony's war. His voice was calm but serious. The message came through the deep space relay we built after first contact 23 years ago. It is definitely from the same aliens who visited us back then. What exactly are they asking for? Lisa asked. Dr. Kevin Walsh, Earth's top alien expert, stepped forward. He was a thin man with thick glasses who had spent his whole career studying the one alien ship that had visited Earth decades ago. They want military help, Madam President. A peaceful species called the Zilani is about to be wiped out by something called the Korthak Empire. The Galactic Council has no ships available to help, Lisa frowned. The same Galactic Council that ignored us for over 20 years? Yes, ma'am, the same one. General Ryan Clark, the head of all Earth military forces, spoke up. This could be a trap. They ignore us for decades, then suddenly need our help when they have problems. Or, said Captain Amy Rodriguez, this could be exactly what we have been preparing for. All eyes turned to Captain Rodriguez. She commanded Earth's spy ship, the UES Pathfinder, and had made secret trips beyond the solar system for 15 years. She knew more about alien civilizations than anyone else on Earth. Tell us what you know, Captain, Lisa said. Amy pulled up a star map on the screen. I have been watching the galaxy for years. Most alien species evolved on easy worlds. Warm temperatures, gentle weather, no dangerous animals. They never had to fight to survive like we did. She pointed to different star systems. The Korthak Empire has been growing for the past 10 years. They take over peaceful worlds because no one knows how to fight them. The Galactic Council tries to solve everything with meetings and treaties. What about their technology? asked Admiral Morrison. More advanced than ours in some ways, but they do not think like soldiers. Their ships are built for show, not for war. Their weapons are designed to scare enemies into giving up, not to actually fight. Dr. Walsh added more information. From what I learned during first contact, most alien species call Earth a death world. They think our planet is too dangerous for intelligent life. They cannot understand how we survived here. Because we are tougher than they are, General Clark said with a grin. Exactly, Amy replied. We evolved fighting everything. Wild animals, natural disasters, diseases, and each other. Every human alive today comes from ancestors who survived when most others died. Lisa looked around the room. What is our current military status? Admiral Morrison activated a different screen. Operation Starwatch has been running for 22 years, ever since the aliens first visited. We have been building a space fleet in secret, preparing for the day when they might come back as enemies. The screen showed a list of ships that made Lisa's eyes go wide. 200 vessels? 212 to be exact. We have been busy. General Clark continued the briefing. We have 38 destroyers, 62 cruisers, 45 heavy cruisers, 32 battleships, and 15 dreadnoughts, plus support ships. All of this was built in secret? Lisa asked. Using the asteroid belt mining operations as cover, Morrison replied. The public thinks we are just mining rocks for Earth. They do not know we built the largest space navy in human history. Amy brought up pictures of the ships. Our weapons are different from what aliens use. They fight with energy beams and plasma weapons. We use kinetic weapons, railguns, missiles, and good old-fashioned explosives. Why does that matter? Lisa asked. Because their shields are designed to stop energy weapons. They have never faced solid projectiles moving at high speed. A simple steel rod moving fast. Enough can punch through their best defenses. Dr. Walsh looked worried. There is something else to consider. If we help these Zilani people, the whole galaxy will learn about our military strength. We cannot stay hidden anymore. Maybe that is not a bad thing, said General Clark. We have been hiding long enough. If there are peaceful aliens being attacked by bullies, maybe it is time to show the galaxy what humans can do. Lisa thought about the decision before her. Earth had spent decades building weapons and ships preparing for war. Now aliens were asking for help against exactly the kind of enemy Earth was ready to fight. What kind of force would we need to save the Zilani? She asked. Admiral Morrison consulted his notes. The enemy has 40 ships. I could take them with 15 of our vessels, but I would rather use 20 to be safe. 20 ships against 40? Ma'am, 20 human warships could probably take out 100 alien vessels. They have never fought anyone who knows what real war looks like. Amy nodded. The Korthak Empire became powerful by scaring enemies into surrender. They have never faced anyone willing to fight back. Lisa made her decision. Admiral Morrison, prepare a task force. We are going to help the Zilani. The room went quiet. After 23 years of waiting, Earth was finally going to war among the stars. What should we tell the aliens? Dr. Walsh asked. Lisa smiled, but it was not a friendly smile. Tell them help is on the way. Tell them the humans are coming. As the meeting ended, nobody in the room understood what they had just started. They thought they were just helping some peaceful aliens. They did not know they were about to show the galaxy what happened when you woke up a sleeping giant that had been preparing for war its entire existence. The human fleet dropped out of hyperspace at the edge of the Verdania system. Admiral Jake Morrison stood on the bridge of his flagship, the UES Liberty, watching the tactical display. 12 human ships had made the journey from Earth. It was the first time human warships had traveled beyond their home system. Admiral, we are picking up massive energy signatures near the planet, reported Lieutenant Commander Pete Williams from the sensor station. 43 alien vessels in attack. Formation around Verdania Prime. Morrison nodded. Right on schedule. Captain Thompson, what is the status of your battle group? On the communication screen, Captain Ben Thompson appeared. He commanded the heavy cruiser UES Justice, along with 4 destroyers. His face was calm, but his eyes were alert. Battle Group Alpha ready for combat, sir. All weapon systems online. Another screen showed Captain Nicole Stevens from the UES Defiance. Battle Group Beta standing by, Admiral. We have target locks on the enemy formation. Morrison studied the tactical display. The Korthek fleet was arranged in a simple line facing the planet. Their ships were large and impressive looking, covered in bright lights and decorative armor. They looked like they were built to scare people, not to fight real battles. Classic intimidation formation, Morrison said to his tactical officer, Commander Mark Davis. They want the people on the planet to see their power and give up without a fight. Should we announce ourselves, sir? Asked the communications officer. No. Let them figure out we are here on their own. On the planet below, the green-skinned Zalani huddled in underground shelters. They had been listening to the Korthak demands for hours. Surrender or die. Their own small fleet of 6 ships had already been destroyed trying to defend the system. Prime Minister Kella sat in the emergency bunker, praying to his ancestors. The Galactic Council had promised help was coming, but he saw no sign of rescue. Ships. Above them, the Korthak fleet was preparing to begin the bombardment. On the lead Korthak vessel, Warlord Grextok was growing impatient. He was a large, red-skinned alien with 4 arms and tusks like a wild boar. His species had conquered 15 worlds in the past 5 years, and none had dared to resist for long. Communications officer, send the final warning to the planet. Grextok growled. They have 1 hour to surrender, or we begin destroying their cities. Yes, Warlord. Message sent. Sir. Called out the sensor operator. New contacts detected at the system edge. 12 ships approaching. Grextok looked at the display. The ships were small compared to his massive warships. They had no decorative armor or bright lights. They looked plain and simple, like cargo haulers. Probably more refugees trying to escape, he said with a laugh. Or maybe the Galactic Council finally sent their pathetic peacekeeping fleet. Either way, destroy them. On the U.S. Liberty, Morrison watched the enemy fleet turn toward his ships. They took the bait. All ships, execute battle plan Alpha. Remember, we want to end this quickly and cleanly. The human ships suddenly accelerated, moving much faster than the Korthak had expected. Instead of forming a battle line like normal fleets, they split into 3 groups and came at the enemy from different angles. What are they doing? Grextok demanded. This is not proper fleet combat. His tactical officer looked confused. Sir, they are not following standard engagement protocols. Their formation makes no sense. The first human weapons fired. Instead of the bright energy beams the Korthak expected, dark objects shot out from the human ships at incredible speed. The Korthak shields, designed to deflect plasma bolts, did nothing to stop the solid metal rods traveling at a significant fraction of light speed. The lead Korthak destroyer exploded as a railgun round punched through its hull like paper. 3 more ships died in the first salvo before the Korthak even realized they were under attack. Return fire! Grextok screamed. The Korthak weapons were powerful, but they were designed for long-range bombardment of planets, not ship-to-ship. Combat. Their plasma cannons fired in slow, predictable patterns. The human ships moved like dancers, never staying in one place long enough for the clumsy alien weapons to hit them. Captain Thompson's voice came over the fleet channel. Justice Group engaging targets 7 through 12. Fox 3, Fox 3. His destroyers launched missiles. Not the slow, obvious rockets the galaxy was used to, but smart weapons that could think and dodge. The Korthak point defense systems, built to stop asteroids and debris, could not track the fast-moving human missiles. Captain Stevens coordinated her attack from the opposite side. Defiance Group, concentrate fire on their command ship. That big ugly one in the center. The UE's Defiance and her escorts focused their railguns on Grextak's flagship. The massive Korthak vessel, built to intimidate rather than fight, had thick armor but poor design. Human kinetic weapons found weak points in the hull and exploited them ruthlessly. "Sir, we are taking heavy damage," the Korthak tactical officer reported. "Hull breaches on decks 12 through 18. "How is this possible?" Grextak roared. "They only have 12 ships." On the UE's Liberty, Morrison watched the battle unfold exactly as planned. The human fleet used tactics developed over centuries of warfare on Earth: mobility, concentration of force, and superior weapons technology were defeating a larger enemy with ease. "Admiral, enemy fleet is breaking formation," reported Commander Davis. "Several ships are trying to escape." "Let them go," Morrison replied. "We want survivors to spread the word about what happened here." The battle lasted 18 minutes. When it ended, 37 Korthak ships were destroyed or crippled. Only 6 vessels escaped, badly damaged and running for their lives. The human fleet had not lost a single ship. On Verdania Prime, the Zelani emerged from their shelters to see the burning wreckage of the Korthak fleet floating in space. Their impossible rescue had come from 12 small ships that fought like nothing the galaxy had ever seen. Prime Minister Kayla sent a message to the human fleet. "Thank you for saving our people. We are forever in your debt." Morrison replied simply, "No one deserves to be enslaved or murdered. We are glad we could help." As the human ships took up protective positions around the planet, nobody realized that the galaxy had just witnessed the first demonstration of human military power. The age of easy conquest was over, and the bullies of the galaxy were about to learn what real warriors looked like. The news of the Verdania battle spread across the galaxy like wildfire. In the Galactic Council chambers, Admiral Vexthari stared at the battle reports with growing horror. The sensor data made no sense. 12 ships destroyed 43 enemy vessels in 18 minutes? He asked the intelligence analyst. "This cannot be correct." The young officer Yara double-checked her data. "Sir, we have confirmed the reports from 3 different sources. The human fleet suffered 0 losses. The Korthak Empire lost 37 ships with only 6 survivors." Counselor Drex leaned forward in his chair. "How is this possible? The Korthak have been conquering systems for years. They have experience in battle." "That is just it, sir," Yara replied. "The Korthak have experience in intimidation, not actual fighting. Every species they attacked before surrendered, rather than fight a hopeless battle." Admiral Vexthari pulled up the tactical analysis. "The humans used weapons we have never seen before. Solid projectiles instead of energy beams. Their ships moved in patterns that make no military sense according to our doctrine." "Maybe their doctrine is different," suggested Counselor Nethes. "Maybe we do not understand how Deathworld species fight." Across the galaxy, the surviving Korthak ships limped back to their home system. Warlord Grextak sat in his damaged command chair, staring at the stars through the hole in his ships. Huh! His pride was wounded worse than his vessel. "Send a message to the High Command," he ordered. "Tell them we have encountered a new enemy. Tell them the humans are not like other species." "What should we tell them about the humans, sir?" asked his communications officer. Grextak was quiet for a long moment. "Tell them the humans fight like demons. Tell them they show no fear and give no mercy. Tell them we have awakened something terrible. On Earth, the news was different." President Lisa Carter stood in the Situation Room, watching reports from around the world. The story of the Verdania rescue had leaked to the media, and the human population was reacting with pride and excitement. "Ma'am, approval ratings are up 30%, reported her chief of staff. The public loves the idea that we are protecting innocent aliens from bullies. Dr. Kevin Walsh looked worried. The problem is that we are no longer secret. Every alien civilization in the galaxy now knows about our military strength. Captain Amy Rodriguez had been monitoring alien communications from her spy ship. Dr. Walsh is right. I am picking up massive amounts of radio traffic. Every species is talking about us. What kind of talk? Asked General Ryan Clark. 3 types, Amy replied. The peaceful species are asking for our protection. The aggressive species are either trying to make alliances with us or planning to attack us. The established powers are trying to figure out how to control us. Lisa looked at the star charts on the wall. How many species are we talking about? Over 300 known civilizations, Dr. Walsh answered. And most of them are now very interested in humanity. Admiral Jake Morrison appeared on the communication screen from his flagship near Verdania. Madam President, we are receiving dozens of messages from alien governments. Some want to meet with us. Others are demanding we leave their territory. Any threats? Asked General Clark. Several. The Hegemony Alliance is forming. 3 aggressive species are combining their fleets to deal with what they call the human problem. Lisa felt a chill. How many ships are we talking about? Our best estimate is over 300 vessels, Morrison replied. They are calling it the largest military force in galactic history. The room fell silent. Earth's entire fleet was just over 200 ships. Even with their technological advantages, fighting 300 enemy vessels would be difficult. There is more, Amy added. The peaceful species are begging us to protect them. The Minari Republic, the Gentle Collective, the Harmony Worlds. They are all asking for human protection against the Hegemony Alliance. Dr. Walsh pulled up a galactic map. If we agree to protect them, we would be responsible for defending over 50 star systems. Our fleet would be spread thin. If we do not protect them, Lisa said quietly, they will be conquered or destroyed. We would be letting innocent people die. General Clark studied the tactical situation. We could establish bases at key systems. Use our mobility advantage to respond quickly to threats. That would mean permanent military presence outside our solar system, Admiral Morrison pointed out. We would be committed to galactic politics whether we want to be or not. Lisa looked around the room at her advisors. What about the Galactic Council? Can they help? Amy shook her head. The Council is paralyzed. Half of them want to restrict our military activities. The other half want to use us as their personal army. They cannot agree on anything, so we are on our own, Lisa said. Not entirely, Morrison replied. The Zalani have offered to help. They want to provide supplies and intelligence to our fleet. Other peaceful species are making similar offers. Lisa walked to the window and looked up at the stars. 3 days ago, humanity had been alone in the universe. Now they were being asked to become the galaxy's police force. What does our fleet think about this? She asked. The crews are eager to help, Morrison replied. They joined the space service to protect Earth and humanity. Now they have a chance to protect innocent people across the galaxy. Lisa made her decision. We will establish forward bases to protect the peaceful species. We will not start any wars, but we will finish them if attacked. What about the Hegemony Alliance? Asked General Clark. We will give them one chance to back down peacefully. If they choose to fight, we will show them what happens when you threaten innocent people. As the meeting ended, Lisa realized that humanity had reached a turning point. They were no longer the hidden species building ships in secret. They were now the most feared military power in the galaxy, whether they wanted to be or not. In the depths of space, human ships began moving to their new positions. The galaxy watched nervously as the Deathworld fleet spread across the stars, bringing hope to some and terror to others. The quiet species of Earth had become the galaxy's reluctant Guardians, and there was no turning back. 3 months after the Verdania battle, the human fleet had spread across the galaxy. Admiral Jake Morrison stood in the command center of the new forward base on Zelani Prime, watching reports come in from 50 different star systems. "Admiral, the Hegemony Alliance has issued their final ultimatum," reported Captain Ben Thompson. "They demand we withdraw all human forces from the galaxy or face total war." Morrison studied the tactical display. The enemy had gathered their combined fleet at the edge of Council space. 312 ships from the Korthek Empire, the Skarl Federation, and the Vorthan clans. It was the largest military force ever assembled in galactic history. "What is their timeline?" Morrison asked. "They give us 72 hours to respond," replied Captain Nicole Stevens from her position at the intelligence station. "After that, they will begin attacking any system under human protection." Morrison activated the communication link to Earth. President Lisa Carter appeared on the screen, looking tired but determined. "Admiral, what is our status?" she asked. "All forward bases are operational, Madam President. We have defense platforms at 23 key systems and mobile fleets covering the rest. The peaceful species have been very helpful with supplies and intelligence. And our fleet strength? We now have 90 ships in the field, with the rest of our fleet defending Earth and the solar system. Colonel Maria Santos has taken command of the new dreadnought U Sovereign. She is standing by with the first battle group," Lisa nodded. "The Hegemony Alliance? Over 300 ships, but they are not working well together. 3 different species with 3 different fighting styles and 3 different command structures. They argue more than they plan." Captain Amy Rodriguez spoke up from her monitoring station. "I have been listening to their communications. The Korthek want direct assault. The Skarl prefer siege warfare. The Vorthan think they should try to negotiate first. They cannot agree on basic strategy." Morrison smiled grimly. "That gives us an advantage. What about the Galactic Council?" "Still useless," Amy replied. "They are having emergency meetings about emergency meetings. Half of them want to surrender to the hegemony. The other half want to hide and hope the problem goes away." Lisa made her decision. "Admiral, you have full authority to handle this situation as you see fit. Protect our allies and show the galaxy that bullies will not be tolerated." The communication ended. Morrison turned to his staff officers. "Gentlemen and ladies, we are about to fight the largest space battle in galactic history. Any questions?" Captain Thompson raised his hand. "Sir, what if we lose?" "Then we make sure the galaxy remembers that humanity fought for what was right." Morrison replied, "But we are not going to lose." 2 days later, the Hegemony fleet entered the Asteria system, where a small human base protected a peaceful mining colony. The enemy commander, Overlord Krax of the Skarl Federation, expected the humans to retreat when faced with overwhelming numbers. Instead, Admiral Morrison was waiting for them. The human fleet had positioned itself using the asteroid belt around Asteria's 4th planet. 57 human ships faced over 300 alien vessels. It looked like certain death for the humans. "Human fleet, this is Overlord Krax," came the message. "You are outnumbered 6 to 1. Surrender now, and we will allow you to return to your home system unharmed." Morrison's reply was broadcast to the entire galaxy. "This is Admiral Morrison of the Earth Defense Fleet. You have threatened innocent people under our protection. We do not negotiate with bullies. If you want a fight, you can have one." The battle began badly for the humans. The sheer number of enemy ships created a wall of plasma fire that seemed impossible to break through. Several human vessels took heavy damage in the first few minutes, but Morrison had learned from every human war in history. He was not trying to win a fair fight, he was trying to win. "Execute Plan Overlord," he ordered. Hidden among the asteroids were dozens of automated defense platforms that the humans had secretly installed over the past weeks. As the hegemony fleet advanced, these platforms activated, firing kinetic weapons into the enemy formation from multiple directions out at the same time. Colonel Santos brought the UES Sovereign and 15 other ships out of hyperspace behind the enemy fleet. The massive human dreadnought was the largest warship humanity had ever built, and its weapons could destroy any alien ship with a single shot. "This is Colonel Santos," she announced. "All enemy vessels are now surrounded. Surrender immediately or be destroyed." Overlord Crack screamed orders at his fleet, but the Hegemony Alliance was falling apart. The 3 different species began blaming each other for the ambush. Skarl ships tried to retreat while Korthek vessels charged forward. Vorthan commanders demanded new orders from their home government. The human fleet moved through the confused enemy formation like sharks through a school of fish. Human tactics, developed through centuries of warfare on Earth, proved devastatingly effective against aliens who had never faced real military opposition. The battle lasted 47 minutes. When it ended, the Hegemony Alliance had lost 218 ships. The remaining vessels fled in all directions, their alliance broken forever. The human fleet had lost 3 ships and suffered damage to 12 others. The galaxy watched in stunned silence as the greatest military alliance in galactic history was destroyed by a force less than 1/5 its size. Within hours, messages began arriving from across the galaxy. Aggressive species that had been planning attacks on peaceful worlds suddenly announced they were interested in diplomatic solutions. The Galactic Council finally voted to officially welcome humanity as a full member with special status as galactic peacekeepers. Most importantly, over 100 peaceful species requested permanent human protection. They offered resources, technology, and loyalty in exchange for security from those who would harm them. Admiral Morrison stood on the bridge of the UES Liberty, looking out at the stars that no longer seemed cold and empty. Humanity had found its place in the galaxy, not as conquerors, but as protectors. President Carter's voice came over the communication system, speaking to the entire fleet. "People of Earth and friends across the galaxy, today we have shown that might without right is meaningless. We did not seek this responsibility, but we will carry it with honor. The galaxy is safer tonight because good people stood up to bullies and won." The Deathworlder fleet that the galaxy had accidentally awakened would never sleep again. But instead of bringing destruction, they had brought hope to a universe that had forgotten what it meant to fight for justice.